Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something called dark viruses. So, if you watched my last video talking about dragons, there was a part there was a part kind of in the middle, I guess, where some of the crystalline dragons I was interacting with were removing dark energies from me, and I didn't recognize what they were, and they had to tell me that these were dark viruses. So at this point in the conversation with them, they actually started explaining more of what they were, and I wanted this to be a separate video because it just felt like it was a lot of different topics going on if I were to combine this into a single video. So this is why I'm making it a separate one. Um, and towards the end of the last video, the emerald crystalline dragon had given me, she had placed like energy into my heart chakra, and it ended up becoming like this light lime green flame that was going from my heart chakra, and it was actually coming out my palms. And so I'm going to talk to you about that too. So, a lot of times, this is how my guides will teach me new things. I think I'm having a nice conversation with them, and then suddenly things turn, and I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" And so this is how I learn. This is how I learn new things. So, Emerald Dragon told me that the lime green flames that I had coming from my palms is called the parido flame. She told me that the parido flame can destroy dark viruses. Parido, by the way, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with that word, it's the name of a lime green gemstone. So that's what it's being named after. But it can destroy dark viruses. And so at this point, once she says that, I'm like, okay, clearly you're going to be telling me what these dark viruses are. Because before that, I was like, do I need to know about this? Is this important? I mean, it's funny because when something new pops up, I want to know about it, but at the same time, sometimes I'm just like, oh, another thing. Um, so she tells me that dark viruses, what she's calling dark viruses, are energetic. So these are not physical viruses, these are energetic viruses. They are created by galactic groups who are aligned with dark energies. So essentially, if there's a group like the reptilians or it's not the reptilians, it might be the draconians, yeah. Um there's groups called like there's all kinds of galactic groups that work for the cyborgs. And a lot of the work they do is research and development. They are creating bad things. And so this is one of those products. So the dark viruses are made from dark energy, makes sense. And so the dark energy they're made from are known as dark codes. So this also makes sense. I've mentioned them extremely briefly in a previous video because light codes are something that I work with. I get that energy from my guides, and light codes they can come out as light language, so you can speak them, you can sing them, or they can come out as like just energy through your hands, or they can be like woven into music, which is like the service we have with music. It's essentially it's light codes. It's channeled music with light codes in them that do a certain type of healing for each person. So dark viruses are made from dark codes. If you have something light, there's always something dark, and there's always something in between. There's always a full spectrum. So they're made of dark codes. These viruses can lie dormant in humans until an event triggers them to activate. So, unlike a physical virus, it's not like you get one of these and they like multiply all over the place, because that's what a physical virus does, right? These actually don't do that. A single dark virus is received at a time, and it is sufficient enough to carry out the work it was programmed for. Dark viruses target thought patterns and behavior in order to keep a person in a lower vibration and make it more difficult to use conscious behaviors. So, I mean, that's a really broad way to impact us. Um, it's funny because those are the words they gave me, but when they showed it to me, I feel like it looked a little bit different, but it's really hard to describe these visuals that they give me in appropriate words. It was almost like programming is actually what I want to say. It was almost like these viruses were pro I guess that's correct. They are programs to impact our behaviors. Um, they are not, are they? Yikes. Okay. I was gonna say it doesn't force you to do the behavior, but he's like, no, it really does. Great. Okay. Um, dark viruses are consciously or unconsciously, so this is how they come about, consciously or unconsciously channeled by humans who are aligned with darker energies. So again, this makes sense. I channel light codes, I'm aligned with light beings. This makes sense. Somebody else who's aligned with darker energy can channel the darker energy. The person who channels the dark energy is the first to receive the virus. It can duplicate itself to be sent out through that person when they speak, sing, create music, or through hand movements. So essentially, the person who channels the energy receives the virus, so they themselves have it. And then when they go to interact with all other people, is what he's telling me, it just duplicates itself. It goes bloop, and so one stays in the person and one goes to the next person. Um, there are many different kinds of dark viruses. These can be triggered by, and so by triggered, I mean these can be activated. These can be awoken because when you get them, they're dormant. They're not running around like crazy. They're dormant until they're waiting for a certain event to occur in order to activate. So emotional trauma can trigger these. Physical trauma can trigger these. Or even a physical virus can trigger these. There are other triggers possible, but those are the most common ones. If you have ever had a physical virus that resulted in a permanent change to your physical body, so think about this one. If you've ever had a physical virus that resulted in a permanent change to your physical or emotional health, is what they're saying, then there is a good chance that you had a physical virus, and on the physical virus there was piggybacking an energetic virus. So you received both. Your body went through the process of having the physical virus. Your body cleared the physical virus. You got better, but you didn't, right? Because something changed. Something emotional or something physical was never the same after that virus. And it's because you received an energetic virus, and that is, quote, alive and well in your body right now, or in your energy, I should say. Um, I can remember two different times in my life. There's probably more, but I can very clearly remember two different times in my life that I received a physical virus and had a forever change after that. So once when I was 13, and once very recently with the worldwide epidemic that went around. Let's see. So dark viruses attach at the level of the soul. So it's kind of obnoxious. It'd be easier if it attached at the level of the body, because then when that body died, the energy would go away. But it's attaching at the level of the energy body. So when the body dies, your energy is still holding on to that material, that dark energy, that is going to potentially show up in your next incarnation. It might not, it could stay dormant the whole time, but potentially it's there. So our business is now going to be offering a service. It's going to be called Dark Virus Healing. So that during that session, I'm going to be working with the Emerald Dragon and the Parido Flame to destroy the viruses. We're going to be targeting viruses that are activated, and we're also going to be targeting viruses that are just dormant, that haven't caused you any problems yet, but we want to get rid of them. Part of the service is going to include me putting the viruses that I find into like different categories to help you understand how they've been impacting you or how they would have impacted you if they had become active. Um, Metatron gave me 30 different types of these dark viruses. He said there's a lot more. He said the 30 that he gave me are like the um, main or like most common types. So I'm going to tell you what these are because I want you to be thinking about these things because when he went through the list, I was like, geez, seriously. So different categories of these dark viruses, they can cause fatigue or reduced energy. They can cause physical pain. It could be the same location over and over again, or it could be moving around your body like fibromyalgia. There's a category of these dark viruses that promotes resentment. So if you struggle with resenting others in your life, there's a group of these that promote pride or ego. There's a group that promote fears or anxiety around survival. There's a type that promotes fears or anxiety around benign things or events. So this would be when people start having like panic attacks all of a sudden or anxiety attacks all of a sudden. There's a type that promotes fears or anxiety around being seen and heard. There's a type that promotes unconscious sexuality. There's a type that distorts how you receive or perceive love. There's a type that promotes obsessive and repetitive behaviors. There's a type that distorts confidence or self-worth. There's a type that creates creative blocks. And I'm going to just keep going. Promoting anger or frustration with others. Promoting withdrawal from others or isolating yourself. Heart chakra blocks. Third eye blocks. Crown chakra blocks. Blocks in the mouth to prevent manifesting magic or light language. Distorting perception to a pessimistic outlook. So this is someone whose their viewpoint on the world is very, very pessimistic if this is active. Promoting self-doubt, promoting self-hatred or self-harm, promoting distrust, promoting suppression of self in order to fit in. Third eye distortions, promoting going along with the majority, promoting a victim mentality, promoting division or like an us versus them mentality, promoting blind trust or lack of discernment, promoting procrastination or a struggle to take action. And then the last grouping he gave me is just other, just like it didn't fit in one of these, but it was something else. When he gave me this list, all I could think about was like, oh my God, I could see these qualities in the general population so much. I mean, obviously, I can see them in myself, I can see them in like my friends and my family members, whatever, but it kind of freaked me out that, this is one of the ways that dark entities are trying to get a upper hand on planets or on Earth. Um, but yeah, so kind of freaky to recognize it so well in the general population because that just means that this is probably a lot more prolific than I want it to be. Um, the service is also going to include a way to keep your energy clear in the future because basically I'm going to be doing this clearing for you right up front, and then it is possible to still interact with others and get these energies in the future. And so we're going to provide you with a way for you to clear those energies out whenever you want or whenever you feel like you need to. Okay. So this service, that's everything I have on this. The dark virus healing service, it's uh it's available now. So I'll include a link to it in this description of this video in case you're interested. Feel free to um, put questions about it. If you have any questions about it, you can email me questions, or you can put questions about it in the under the YouTube video if you'd like. Either way. But this is what I have for you guys today. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.